Myrtle Beach is the beach. 60 miles of bright sand, water, and a wealth of wonderful music playing day and night. You can step into a simple beach bar and discover a surprising level of exciting musical talent. A place to kick back and groove to the enticing soundtrack of the most unexpected vacations around. With nothing but good vibes floating through the warm ocean air. Plan your own music-filled trip to America's Jukebox at visitmyrtlebeach.com.
Have you ever brought your magic to Walt Disney World like, hey, we came to play? Did you tip your tiara to a Creole princess or get goofy officially? Step up like a boss and save the day? Or see what life's like under the tree of life? Did you? If you could. Would you? When we come through, it's true magic. 'Cause we came to play. Bring the magic at Walt Disney World Resort.
Today is the day you will lose fat. Come see Dr. T at NJ Diet.
Easiest diet I've ever done. It's changed my life. Come see Dr. T.
Using blood work and DNA testing. 1-855-5NJ-DIET and NJDiet.com. Change your life in only 40 days with NJ Diet. OG.
Make some noise!
An intro from our next guest. I know he's from New York, but currently resides in Massachusetts. He's an incredible MC who I recently started listening to. I thought this would be enough for me to at least start an introduction to, but then I was listening to his latest album, Heroes for Hire 2, and I came across his track, Who Am I? So with that, I want to welcome Ghost of the Machine to the library with Tim Einenkel, but then also ask him, who are you?
Oh, what up, man?
What's up, man?
What's good? Chilling, man. Yeah, Ghost of the Machine. I'm an MC. I'm a producer. I'm a disciple of hip hop. You know what I mean? And I'm just so in love with this medium of art. And it's tattooed on my heart. You know what I mean? So, that's who I am. I'm a father, a raptivist, all that stuff, man. All that stuff.
You are, I mean, you obviously do a lot. You're, as you just mentioned, producer, MC, father, raptivist. But and it's also important, I think, for people to know that you are an independent artist. So what does it mean to be an independent artist in this day and age? But two, what's the easiest thing about being an independent artist, and what's the hardest thing about being an independent artist?
Wow, I'm glad you asked me that. I was actually having a conversation with my homie about that the other day. There has been I guess offers, on the table in the recent past. Mm-hmm. I've been attached to labels before, and things just really ain't panning out. I've been on labels where the artist was bigger, you know what I mean, and they were just more concerned about their art than the label's art. I think the idea of them having a label was it's kind of cool with all this dope talent, but we're not going to push them. We're just going to focus on, ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, there's, I had a conversation with somebody because, there's a label talking to me right now, and I'm kind of tiptoeing in a situation because I have so much freedom as an independent artist. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That freedom also comes with a price, no pun intended, because with a label, with a solid label, a label that's really about what they say they're about, they're going to back your project with money. You know what I mean? So instead of me, grinding and having a budget and, working a 9-to-5 with side hustles or whatnot, the label, would trust me enough that I would create a good enough project for them to put out, and they back it financially, like tours, vinyls, hotel rooms, all that stuff. That's been on the table before. But as an independent artist, I have the freedom to be no, I'm going to turn that down. I don't want to do that interview. Mm-hmm. You know what? You can't tell me who I can work with and who I can't work with. You know what I'm saying? And, it takes a very special type of label for an artist like myself, to, be able to, put out, and they back it financially, like tours, vinyls, all that stuff. That's been on the table before. But as an independent artist, I have the freedom to be no, I'm going to turn that down. I don't want to do that interview. You know what I'm saying? And, it takes a very special type of label somebody that does the quote unquote the ground, real rap, hip hop type stuff, because, nowadays, the industry is like flooded and saturated with people that sound the same.
Right.
And, I have the freedom to be like, yo, this is my vision and this is what I want, and there's nothing nobody could do or say about it, because I make the art that I love. I make the art that I want to listen to, so that's the difference, and that's like the biggest benefit for me. And I'm not limiting myself. You know what I'm saying? I can do whatever the hell I want. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
You mentioned how people are, we're in a day and age where a lot of artists are sounding similar. Someone comes up as a hip hop artist, they want to do what, the popular guy is doing, the popular girl is doing, and you don't do that. You're trying to be, through your music, through what I'm hearing, especially on Heroes of Hire too, you're doing something different. When did you decide, and why did you decide that you weren't going to sound like the popular dude, that popular dude out there? Why did you decide that you want to sound different?
So, I was raised, off of, the cornbread, baked macaroni and cheese, and Illmatic, you know what I'm saying? So, like, it's just, I remember the first time I heard Crooklyn Dodgers, you know what I'm saying? Like,
wow, yeah.
I lost my damn mind, man. I was a kid. I just lost it, and, it touched my soul. So the type of music that I make, I want to create that feeling within myself and others again. I've been in situations where, I've been attached to a label where a guy was like, yo, maybe if you said something like this instead of that, and that was where I drew the line in the sand, like officially. This was like maybe like 7 years ago, to be exact. Like, I was like, yo, I am not going to be some cookie cutter, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to look like Biggie. I don't want to make a bunch of love songs. I don't want to do that. Even though I love Big, props to Big. Like, I feel like what hip-hop is about originality,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's in thought, even though Nas says no idea is original, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's in thought, image, and message, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it's about. I feel like I don't want to be anybody else's puppet, I don't want to, for lack of a better word, sell out to make somebody else happy or to make dividends. I feel like my art's worth more than that. You know what I mean? Like, it might not be now that I'll be getting all the residuals that I want, but later on, like, I feel like what I make is timeless. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I really feel about my art.
You mentioned Nas, and in your new album with DJ Proof, Heroes for Hire 2, you have a track called Esco Says, and that's featuring Skyzoo. Esco obviously referring to Nas in this track. If you kind of elaborate more on why this ode to Nas, and kind of what has his influence been in your art, but also what has his influence been for you in terms of hip hop culture.
I like that question, man. You got a good question.
Thanks.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that. So I don't know, man. Like, one day I was driving, and then I was listening to the beat, and then, I was just like, I swear I wrote a rhyme for every thought inside your mind. Esco wasn't lying when he said the world was mine. Like, you know what I mean? It just came out so, like, naturally. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
There's something powerful in that track on Illmatic. Whose world is this? It's yours. You know what I'm saying? It's yours. It goes back to that Slick Rick song, "Hey Young World."
Nice.
I have a 7-month-old daughter, and her bedtime song and her bedtime story is a children's story. And her bedtime song is "Hey Young World, the world is yours." You know what I mean? Like, that's so powerful, because when you're coming from a place of, like, being oppressed and, like, having, hate to sound humdrum, but just having that stigma on top of you, in a system of capitalism, you know what I'm saying? Like, we want things, you know what I mean? And some of these things we can't have, but it was just so ill that, Nas, coming from where he came from, looking like me, and looking like so many others that I know that come from those type of places, saying that the world is yours. You know what I mean? Like, that's uplifting. That's powerful, you know? Like, and it was kind of a metaphor to, like, you know, I'm dope. You know what I mean? Like, no matter what your standards of dope is, you know I'm fire. You know, I don't need anybody else to tell me I'm fire. You know what I mean? Like, it's the world is yours. You know what I mean? You make your destiny. You know what I mean? You make your, you know, like, yeah, situations are crazy. Yeah, things are unfair. At the same time, you know, I hate to sound like, you know, you got to pull yourself up by the bootstraps and stuff like that. Like, you know, if you're able-bodied, able-minded, even if not, if you have a mind, you know what I mean, you could create your future. It might take longer than others, you know what I mean? But I was trying to uplift some of my peers in this thing and, you know, folks that might have been listening, you know what I mean? So, yeah, long story short, that's what it was.
The track, you know, obviously, as mentioned, the track features Skyzoo, who's one of my favorite MCs, and I've interviewed twice on this podcast, or once, well, one of them. Anyway, Skyzoo is someone who, you know, lyrically is incredible and is someone who I have had to, you know, go to genius.com to look up, you know, some of the meaning of.
Yeah, he's ridiculous. He's an alien, bro.
But, you know, also, like, when you do a collaboration with someone like Skyzoo, you hope, you know, you're as a fan, I'm hoping, like, all right, this person who's doing this collaboration will be able to keep up with him, or, you know, him lyrically, and you do that on this track, which I have to say is pretty incredible for me to hear. If you just talk about how this collaboration came together and what was the creative process between you two?
Wow, that's crazy you said that, man. I appreciate that. Well, like you said, I'm a huge Skyzoo fan. I work with a guy out here. His name is Cyrus the Great, and he happens to be Joyner Lucas's uncle, you know, and he's like a dope ass, you know, producer and ill hip hop head and stuff like that. So, you know, I've been building out here with him for, like, you know, a couple of years. Like, we're tight now. And he had some tracks with Skyzoo. And, you know, one day I was like, yo, I really want Sky on the track, man. Like, that's crazy. I feel like, you know, I don't know if you're a fan of martial arts and stuff like that. Like, these cats got to test their kung fu, you know what I mean? Like, against other masters, you feel me? Yeah. I'm like, yo, I want somebody who I'm a fan of and somebody who will really put me to the test, you know, lyrically. Because sometimes, you know, as an artist, you got to test the temperature, you know what I'm saying? And I was up for the challenge, man. So, you know, Sai helped me reach out to Skyzoo. And, yo, he's such an ill dude, man. You know, he's solid. You know, there are a lot of people that I've met, you know, that I've, like, kind of, like, grown up listening to and looked up to. And, you know, they weren't as solid as I'd hoped they'd be. You know what I mean? Like, you know, sometimes that's why people say, like, you don't want to meet your idols or anybody that you've looked up to because they'll disappoint you. You know what I mean? Yeah. Skyzoo, you know, is the complete contradiction of all that, bro, because he's so open. He put me on game. And, you know, he encouraged my pen. You know what I mean? Like, I told him he inspired me, you know, and he just gave me some pointers, you know what I mean? Like, in terms of, like, how to move within the rap game. And, you know, it was real dope, man. It was real dope. I went to bed sleeping like a baby after I recorded that verse, man. And after he sent his, yo, like, I was jumping up and down for joy, man, like, because I'm really a fan. And it was real dope, man. And, yeah, it's funny that you say that, you know, I've kept up with him lyrically, man. Like, I appreciate that, man, because you know what? I pulled every muscle in my damn brain. Damn. Wow. to write and keep up with Sky, man. But, yo, shout out to him, man. He's the homie. He's awesome.
That's dope. The track Real Love on the album, you know, is one of those tracks that had me saying, is he talking about a girl or is he talking about hip-hop? So I guess I have to ask you, are you talking about a girl or are you talking about hip-hop?
Yo. What? Yo, that's crazy that you asked that. All right.
Or is this a secret? Is it a secret that people are not supposed to know?
it's just crazy that you pick up on that. Like, that's dope, though. That's dope, man. Honored. So I was talking about both. You know what I'm saying? So it started off as a woman, you know what I mean? Like a real woman in my life, you know? And then, like, you know, I was like, yo, I don't think she deserves all this. She don't deserve a whole song. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, you know, I didn't want to, like, do the cliche, like, I used to love her, which is an awesome track, you know what I mean?
All right, definitely. I
kind of wanted to, you know, mask it a little bit more. And, yeah, I definitely was talking about hip-hop, you know what I'm saying? And that's ill, man. That's ill. I mean, for me, where that came from is, like, hip-hop doesn't, I don't know, it's like the thing that won't ever, you know, it's never left me, you know, personally. You know what I mean? Like, there's always that foundation. There's a few things that have never left me in life, you know, when I'm down and stuff, and there's always that love and that foundation that follows me wherever I go. You know what I mean? Like, I could not be rapping tomorrow, you know what I mean? And I will wholeheartedly respect and love, you know, everybody that has a passion for this, you know what I mean, and comes up and tries to do it. And I'll always be a fan forever, you know, so that's where it came from.
The last track, Memories, it features your mom talking about her kind of favorite moments of you as a child. Can you talk about this track a little bit, but also what was the inspiration behind this track, kind of having your mom on the track? Yeah, I mean, pretty much, let's talk more about this track.
So, man, if you know me, anybody knows me, man, I love my mom, you know what I mean? And she is so important to not only just my existence, it's just, you know, my wisdom and my knowledge and, you know, my passion for art, you know what I mean? Like, she's the one that kind of, like, pushed me to chase whatever I wanted to. And, like, granted, you know, the effects of racism and being a black parent of a black son, you know, kind of had her shook up around the whole hip-hop thing. I remember I come home and throw on Rap City, and my mom kind of be like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, pull your pants up, blah, blah, blah. Put your hat backwards. But I feel like she understood slowly but surely that, you know, I had to find a way to connect with my people through the arts, you know, and this is something that, you know, is brilliant and created by us, you know, so, and others, you know what I mean? It's just something to be proud of. So, you know, I hit my mom up one day. I was like, yo, Ma, you know, I got a concept for this track, you know, like, do you want to be on the song? She said, sure, baby. You know, and rest in peace to her. She actually passed back in August, you know. So, it's crazy you asked me about that song, man, because I had my dad up here for the holidays 2 days ago, and we're in the car, and we're listening to that song, man, and my dad starts tearing up, you know what I mean? Yeah. And it's just incredible. And she was just a strong woman and a strong influence on my life, man. And I thought it was really important to close it and pay some homage to and owe to our relationship, you know, because it was something special. There's nothing like a good mother's love, man. And yeah, I had to do that for Mom.
That's great. Oh, it's amazing. Is there a was there a track that you created that you remember kind of changed your mom's mind or opinion about hip hop and rap music?
I did a track on Heroes for Hire 1, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, she's always kind of supported, but she was really all in after she saw how serious I was, and I released this track called Welcome to Our Neighborhood with Reks. And
it's a great track.
Yeah, thank you, sir. And I literally told her the writing process, where it came from, and I just told her, I was like, I'm a hood reporter. You know what I mean? Like, there's no difference in that song from somebody just reporting the news. You know what I mean? And the way I do it is good. As I told her, I was like, yo, so check it out, you know, and, you know, she loved it. You know what I mean? And she's come to shows since. We had a festival out here. Skyzoo came out to Worcester, Mass for Beats and Barbecue. You know what I mean? And my mom came out. This was back in July. She came out and she was front row enjoying the entire show. You know what I mean?
That's great.
My biggest fan. You know, so I think it was then my mom was just like, wow, like I see where he's going with this. Like, it's not the stereotypical what I'm used to hearing about, you know, hip hop. You know what I mean? So, right. Yeah, I think it was that song.
What's your? I mean, you look at Heroes for Hire 2, and maybe even Heroes for Hire 1. What's your favorite verse that you've written on either of those albums? That kind of like, that kind of for you best represents kind of what the album's about.
I like my verse with my boy Death Over Simplicity and Reks, man. On it was called God Body originally, but it's called Moving Slow.
Nice.
That verse right there kind of packages, like, you know, just where I'm coming from as an artist. You know what I mean? Like lyrically, and like the passion behind what I do. You know what I mean? That's definitely one of my favorite verses.
Is that your favorite verse of kind of, is that the same as your verse that you, is there a verse out there that you wrote that kind of said, I like, you know, just, you look at it like, yeah, I'm good. I'm this is what I need to be doing.
Yo, there's a secret verse, bro, that I can't oh man, I can't let go of though.
Right,
you know
right.
what I mean? There's one verse, it's I had this track like 2 years ago called Gargantuan. And I was inspired by Joel Ortiz. He's another one of my favorite MCs. I saw him do oh my God, what's the name of that song? It was a verse where he just had 100 bars, like just 100 bars. You know what I mean?
Right.
And after I saw that, I was just like, yo, you know, like a human being could write like that, like in my head. So, you know, I put pen to pad that night. And, you know, I got nice and I wrote that verse, man. And I think that's like my favorite verse of all time. You know what I mean? It's just stupid. You know what I mean?
Right, definitely. Well, before I let you go, what's for you? What overall? What's your favorite thing about the art, the culture, and also what's your favorite thing about writing lyrics?
I love the fact that, you know, I could take myself anywhere, be what I want to be, create a world in the palm of my hand, literally with a pen. You know what I mean? I have homies that are b-boys, like they break dance and stuff. They get down, you know what I mean? And they go to jams out here, and they're still very active. And what they call, you know, trying to come up with a routine for a battle, they call that going to the lab. Right. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, hip-hop comes full circle that way. You know, it's a very meditative thing. You know what I mean? So I get inspired by them. When they practice, like I'm out of practice, like I used to be at practices like every day. I might not have been getting down, but I'd be writing while they were breakdancing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And just that meditative practice, like, yo, I'm going to do better than last time. You know what I mean? I'm going to, you know, or I'm feeling like this today, so I'm going to let it out on the dance floor, or I'm going to let it out on my notepad. You know what I mean? So I like that. And, you know, when you surprise yourself, it's like, damn, I wrote that, you know, pun said it, you know. Sometimes I blow my own mind like Nirvana, like that's a very real thing, you know. So I really love the process, man. It's catharsis, you know what I mean? I feel like I'm connecting with those that have written on a notepad in the past, you know, like all my forefathers, all the people that I love, that inspired me to do this, you know.
That's dope. Actually, I want to ask you a question about Big Pun on Heroes for Hire 2. I believe it's the Skyzoo track. There's a part of the track that reminded me of the Big Pun Little Italy wordplay on Twins.
Yeah.
Was that purposeful? I mean, was that kind of your ode to Big Pun? And then if you ask the same thing, expand on like Big Pun's influence on you, and then what is the challenge as an artist of kind of writing that kind of wordplay?
I got you. So Big Pun definitely is in my top 5 rappers. From the Bronx, heavyweight brother. And I remember actually, when I was on punishment, I think I was in 10th grade, maybe 10th or 11th grade. My homie Jeremy Suarez, man, I didn't mean to put his government out there like that, but he was just like, yo, I got this dope ass album from Pun. It was Capital Punishment, you know, so I wasn't allowed to watch TV, not do nothing. I could just listen to music. And so I listened to that album for a whole month, like, yo, every damn day. You know what I mean? Like, Pun forever will be like one of my favorite artists, you know? So I definitely was paying homage to him, and Esco said. And the challenging part about writing like that, to tell you the truth, it's funny that you ask, is, you know, when I write like that in the booth, my engineer is like, yo, you're the punchline king. Or not the punchline king, but the punch king, because, you know, it takes a lot to do it in one take. You know what I mean? Because the words are so closely grouped together. It's pretty much, they're tongue twisters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the most challenging part about it is, like, it sounds cool when you're writing it, because when I write, I'm not rapping at the same time. Like, maybe I'll rap what I say after every, like, 3 or 4 bars. You know what I'm saying? But, like, it's not a continuous process. So when you step in the booth, it's totally different. You know what I mean? So, and I'm a heavy set dude. So I damn near had an asthma attack, you know, spit in the first verse on Esco said. And I was like, I'm never going to write like this again. And it's just like, damn, like, yo, how at Pun at like 400 plus pounds, like, yo, how in the hell did that man step in the booth and go dead in the middle, a little did we know that we riddled some middlemen who did it? Like, what? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so it just makes me respect, you know, Pun and cats that could, like, hold that cadence, you know, even more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's funny when you hear people walking down the street listening to, I mean, not just Big Pun, but anyone that has, like, that kind of incredible wordplay. You realize, and you listen to people listening on their headphones or whatever, and then trying to do it themselves, you realize how much of a skill that is, because people 9 times out of 10 totally fuck it up, you know?
Right.
And you're like, all right, done. Stop fucking it up for me, please. You know? So when you did it, I was just like, oh, wow, that's kind of, and then I was like, wait, this is totally, definitely, you know, he's not copying, but definitely, like, has to be an ode to Big Pun.
Hell yeah, man. And G-Rap, man.
Oh yeah.
Yo, those cats, with the multi-syllable, you know, wordplay, man, what?
Yeah.
Oh my God. So, yeah, bro. I think that's another level of brilliance. You know what I mean? Rap is literally the hardest written form of music. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm not talking about sheet music, but, like, that right there, to be able to do that is proof. You know, that it's not easy. It's not easy to just get up and just do that. You know what I mean? Like, it takes work.
True.
It takes practice.
He's Ghost of the Machine. New album is Heroes for Hire 2. Definitely check that out. Definitely check out Heroes for Hire, the first one. Best way we could, you know, continue to follow your work, Ghost?
So you can follow me on Instagram, Phantom_of_the opera on Instagram, and then on Twitter is GOTM. And yeah, man, you can hit me up on SoundCloud, Ghost of the Machine, all that.
Ooh, Ghost of the Machine, thank you so much for taking your time to interview on the library with Tim Einenkel. Thank you again, man. Really appreciate it.
Always, man. Honored.
Myrtle Beach is the beach. 60 miles of bright sand, water, and a wealth of wonderful music playing day and night. You can step into a simple beach bar and discover a surprising level of exciting musical talent. A place to kick back and groove to the enticing soundtrack of the most unexpected vacations around. With nothing but good vibes floating through the warm ocean air. Plan your own music-filled trip to America's Jukebox at visitmyrtlebeach.com.
Just in and so good. Thousands of spring deals at your Nordstrom Rack store. Save big today on new arrivals from Kate Spade New York, Nike, Sam Edelman, Free People, and Madewell, starting at only $30. Great brands and great prices on dresses, denim, sandals, designer bags, and more. So rack your look and get first dibs on spring styles you want now from just $30 at your Nordstrom Rack store. What will you find?